dropping
gems.
major keys.
Today,
Major key alert.
you're right. Today we are talking about life lessons that we found in different movies. Because I know, like, these movies be having me crying, balled up, changing my life. And so I know a lot of y'all have too. So let's start it off. I'm gonna start with y'all though.
Yeah, I think we both. One of our favorites is Lion King, and I think that's
Yes.
everybody's probably childhood favorite.
Right.
Is the
Lion King.
So what?
It was so many gems in that movie. Like where do we even want to start? I had to write down some notes because it got real. So Lion King, a major key with Lion King that I thought that it just blessed my soul with was stick to your dreams or your definite life purpose. And the reason why I say that, it was because remember when Simba was a baby, he used to always say, I can't wait till I get older so I can wait to be king. Right. But then some real life stuff happened. He had a scandalous uncle that killed his daddy, and then he just tried to kill his own nephew, and so he just had to run away from home. And so he just got really down on himself. He ran to a whole far away land. He just really just gave up on himself, and he started going through all these things. He made new friends, and then that dream just became a once upon a time memory. And so then, thank God he had some great friends like Nyla and Rafiki. Rafiki was the crazy monkey, the baboon. And so thank God he had good friends that actually just woke him up and gave him a reality check and a wake-up call. And to go along with that story is this guy, he said that he had dreams of becoming I want to say it was like a radio host or something, and he was talking to his counselor, and his counselor at his school was saying that he was like, yeah, I wanted to do that, but it'll probably take me 20 years before I actually can get that, 20 or 30 years or more to get that started off the ground. And she was like, you should actually go after that, because it kind of reminded me of your story. He was like saying, because if you look back and just give it up now, you'll never know if you could have actually accomplished that thing. And so she was pretty much his wake-up call, and a lot of people don't have those inspiring parents or inspiring counselors at their school that's telling you to go after your dream, because he was saying everybody was telling him to get a secure job and get something that provided that security blanket. And so he was like, you know what, I probably should actually go after it. He's like, just because that one person gave him that wake-up call. And so one person in his life was his Nyla, and his Rafiki was like, snap out of it and get your butt back to Pride Rock. Was that what it was called? Yeah, get your booty back to Pride Rock and go run this. We need you. We need more people in this world like you to live out your dreams, your desires, your definite aim in life.
I love that. Yes, we need you to go after your dreams. Yes. For real, nonstop. Like, you don't want to regret it.
But I think the other thing in that too is he was afraid. He was scared.
Yes.
I think he was regretting like his decision. I think he felt like he was the reason his dad passed away. So he couldn't go face his village. He couldn't live with that. And so the message for me was, you just have to live with your past and live with your mistakes. Like, it is what it is. It happened, but you have to keep going. But you can't let that stop you. You can't let that.
That's so true. And I even added that in what was something that was a gem for me in that movie as well, because like you were saying, I feel like he felt regret, and I also feel like he was that's why I think it's important that you forgive yourself. Mm-hmm. If you forgive yourself, you won't be holding on to something that's stopping you from living your life your true life, your true abundant life, the purpose you desire. Because he was putting all that weight on his shoulders, like living in that constant regret. He was unable to see his own worth, his own potential. His confidence was being buried in the guilt of his so-called choice to run off and what his dad told him not to do, and so his dad got ran over by a stampede. So it's like he blamed himself instead of like let it go. It wasn't your fault that you had a crazy uncle that tried to kill your daddy. That was on him. You had no idea. So it's just like, we don't know, and we make this one decision and we let it just outweigh us on this whole area of our life. And if we don't overcome that, we'll never reach our full potential.
Right.
Running away is not going to solve solve the problem. Y'all running from it, just kind of putting it to the back, brushing it under the table.
Right.
Like, that's not gonna
Sweeping
work.
it under the rug. Exactly.
That's true. I like that. That's what I was actually about to say about forgiveness, because I even find myself sometimes, and I was thinking about that today while we were researching for this, like reaching back, and it's just like, it's even about little things, like, oh man, I could have used this money for this, or oh man, if I wasn't stayed with this guy for this long, it's like things would be different. But the thing is, like, it's like now, it's like you can't even do anything to change it. So it's like you have to keep moving forward, and these what ifs are not even real. Exactly. So it's like we start like being like hindering ourselves, just thinking about what if this, what if that, what if I got better grades in undergrad, would I be here now? It's like you think you know, like what if I had some more internships? What if I did like what if I studied abroad? But it's like you now know. It's like you can't be mad at yourself for not knowing what you know now, because that just shows that you're growing. Exactly. So it's just like you say, you have to forgive yourself, because like constantly I'm like, even today I was like, oh man, if I would have just did this, if I didn't make this stupid mistake, this was so unavoidable. But it's like, well, you can't change it now, so let's keep moving forward and going after our dreams and making sure that we're living to the present moment.
Right. You can't constantly keep blaming yourself. And if we constantly allow ourselves to like blame ourselves and dig ourselves and run away from things and just try to suppress it and hide it and act like it doesn't even really truly exist, then we will never even start right now. And then one day, 5 years down the line, we're going to be thinking about this moment right now and be like, dang, if back then I would have never been just blaming myself over all this. I could have been moving this much further in life. So it's like, just start right now. Just start today. Forgive yourself. Like, the past is the past. Don't cry over spilled milk. It's already spilled. You can't scoop it up and put it back in the cup. It's just pour a new glass.
Right. It's just just learn your lesson and move on. Just think of everything as a lesson. Yes, you will make stupid mistakes. You will. It's like a part of life. That's what you have to realize. It's just like, but you cannot keep that. Because when you look back at like the past and things that have been bad in the past, and you reflect on it, like wishing you could change something, it's just like it makes you feel even worse. It makes you feel even worse on something that has happened and is gone and done with. Right. So it's just like, why are you putting that on yourself? It's already happened. Like, allow yourself to be happy. My mom, like, she even says this. She recently said that she finally forgave herself for the divorce. Like, she wasn't the one who even did anything wrong at all, but for some reason she felt like it was her fault that she couldn't keep the family together. Like, me and Jeremy, like, we're cool. Like, you need to be happy with someone who deserves you. But for some reason, like, she harvests that. Like, what could I have done? Is there anything I could have done? Like, even though she tried so many things, and then she just realized, like, finally she forgave herself. Like, she left that in the past, and now I see her happier. And it's just like, I feel like you have to forgive yourself in order to move on, to level up. So, forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself. That's so true, y'all. Like, everything that happens in your life, whether you were completely responsible for the decision or whether the decision had nothing to do with you and you were just at a bad place in the wrong time, you still have to forgive yourself, because these burdens will weigh on you, and then they'll cause these things that we call trapped emotions. And what trapped emotions are is these emotions that, you know, where stress comes from, where all these it's another catalyst for high blood pressure as well, and heart attacks, because when you build up and pile on and pack on all these things from over the years, then it can really affect your health. So another reason why you just have to clear your mind, clear off, and just release all these negative, so-called regretful situations, like Tiffany was just saying, like Jasmine was just saying. These are just situations that you just have to learn from and move past them. Because if you look at a person, no matter if it's the president of the United States, your pastor, everybody has their line of mistakes that led them to this righteous human being that they are right now. So you had to make a whole bunch of mistakes before you can be the great person you were destined to be.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So going back to the movie Lion King.
To our own movie.
That is the Inspire Fire film coming out in 2020. No, but did you have anything else you wanted to add? I have.
Yes, that leads us to Hakuna Matata. Hakuna.
Yeah, Hakuna Matata.
Can I just say something? Like, my favorite part of Lion King, though, is when they were eating those juicy bugs. Like, I wanted them. Those bugs look so good.
I ain't worth selective.
Right, I'm like,
no, I didn't want any. I
I was like, those look good. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, they was making them look good, but I was like, they was all colorful and
right,
stuff.
they were colorful. Like, gummy
worms.
Right. Like, dang, every time I see that, I'm like, those joints look.
That is
But
hilarious.
Kuru Child.
Experimental child.
Right. She was at one in the yard after that movie went off, like, I need someone that wanted this.
No, I was not.
I'm joking.
I know the difference.
That's funny. No, but I did like when because he was like really in a dark place, and I'm happy when Timon and Pumbaa came in his life because those are like y'all. Those are my friends.
No, that is like y'all, for real.
And that's another thing that the Lion King really teaches you, the value of what it is to have, or what it means to have strong relationships to pick you up when you're just at your lowest point. Which brings me to my next part. It's avoiding hyenas. And of course there's no hyenas in Texas.
You better preach. That sounds like a preacher thing. You know what I mean? Just breaking up. And the screen says, avoiding hyenas, my point 3 is. I'm like,
Come in.
Y'all better be my tomorrow. But avoid hyenas. And figuratively, hyenas are negative people. So it's like in the movie, hyenas, they were like this greedy characters. They were just the disloyal. They were like trying to backstab each other, trying to climb and just do little, really nasty things to get their way to the top. They was like really scummy at the bottom. They didn't really have values for themselves. They just was picking off the scraps. And it's just like sometimes in your life, you have these people that's surrounding you in your life that's not really. They may not just be the best of people right now. In this walk of their life, they may be at their hyena phase. And you need to avoid them by all costs. Because in your walk to prosperity and success and great abundance, you can't afford them, to let them leech on and drain your energy.
right.
And especially if I am most like the 5 people that I surround myself with. Why would I want to surround myself with hyenas? Because I will become like them.
With the lions.
Right. I'm trying to run the Pride Rock. I'm not trying to be scraping for them to give me a bone. Y'all remember when they was eating the bones, guys? They couldn't even get a full piece of meat.
Yeah.
I know, it was just like...
Like hyenas, though, they could be your family, too, right?
Yes, and that was another...
And your friends. I'm just saying.
Because Scar was with the hyenas. And he was Mufasa's brother. This was the king's brother, y'all. Like, they came out the same womb. This was his own nephew that he tried to kill. Like, this could be somebody in your family. Like, of course you're supposed to love the people in your family, but sometimes, oh my gosh, I just posted this on my Facebook. So if y'all looking at my Facebook, just scroll down, y'all see Jay-Z talking. And he was saying his uncle was portraying his fears onto him, saying that you'll never be able to sell 1 million records, you'll never be able to make this much money. He was just like, you were saying all the things that you thought you could never do.
That reminds me too.
Like, seriously. So yeah, keep that movie in mind. So, but long story short, people will portray the fears, and hyenas don't necessarily have to be on this out to get you path. They could just be simply portraying fears on you, or doubt, or just negativity in all forms. So don't let them to pry on your life, pry on your dreams, pry on your ability to achieve success. Because if you've never achieved success before, then you don't necessarily know what success is. And so on your path, you don't need people that don't know what success is taking you further away from your path. You need people to build you up along your path so that it can come true.
I love that.
What movie were you
No
in?
hyenas. Well, we'll get to that later.
No hyenas, y'all. No fake friends.
Well, I
No
was
fake
just really
friends.
just focusing on because people, it's usually not just acquaintances that are hyenas.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people who are closest to you. It's your friends. It's your family. And a lot of people don't know how to detach from that because it's like, wait, that's my family member. That's my friend.
You're
like,
supposed to love them.
I'm supposed to. I don't want to leave them behind. I love them so much. I just want them to feel like I feel. I just want them to be positive like me. So it's just like it's a hard thing, like, but you really do, like, in order to love them, kind of, you have to be your best self so you can show them this is how it is, even because a lot of times you can't talk to them, you just have to show them.
Right,
Yeah.
and exactly.
You have to be that example.
Right.
Example.
Because, like, if you do, like you said, they're going to start sucking the life out of you.
With their doubts and infringing or draining you of your time so you can't put all the effort to what you need to do, or draining you of all your money so you can't even be able to, because I know a lot of people when I was in college, a lot of people, they would drop out of school because a lot of people came from underprivileged families, and they were like, I need to go work, get a little, and it would be like a regular little minimum wage job that they would go get, thinking that was going to help out their family. Not knowing if you just finish doing whatever you have to do, and then you will be able to make an even greater salary when it's all said and done. But if we were just thinking about the now, I need to go drop out what I'm doing right now because they are in desperate need right now. Not saying that you don't love them, and you have to put limits. I'm not saying just turn your back on your family. If they do need you, go help them, but then you got to keep in mind the end goal is going to help you it's going to help them so much more. It's just like they said on the plane, if the plane is about to crash, you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you could put anybody else's on. It's like, what you look like, can't breathe, can't even find their face, you losing, you over here dying, you don't even, like, that doesn't even make sense. It's like, I got your oxygen mask on now, peace. You just croak over now. It doesn't make sense.
Maybe can't help you put the oxygen mask on.
Exactly. I mean, it sounds cruel. It sounds cruel, but if you think about it, a lot of people that achieve great success know that, like, I can't be dishing out half my paycheck to go turn up with my besties just because y'all my besties every weekend, when I know I need to save up to get studio time for this, or I need to save up so I can have enough money to go pay my student loans, or whatever it is you need to do. You just have to determine what's gonna reap the greatest or largest amount of dividends for the investment for my future.
Right. I really like that. Like, you even just dropped the gem for me, because like when she said the big picture, though, it's not even that. We could go all like from friends. Like, with our life, we usually think of, like, okay, we should be thinking about the now, but we think about the now, not thinking about the big picture. Like, oh, I have to get the money, not knowing, like. Or, like, when you're starting a business, it might start slow, and it takes time to build it up. But sometimes we're like, oh, it's taking too long. I need money now. Let me get a full-time job, instead of thinking, okay, maybe I should get a part-time job and make some extra money right here so I have some more free time for the bigger picture. Because, like, dang, like, you're right. Because you have to think about the bigger picture too.
Right.
Not just the now, because the now will have you messed up. The now is like, I don't want to say broke, but, like, the now is like, I'm struggling right now. I need something fast.
Right.
When you have to think, like, no, there's greater. Wow, that was good.
Thanks. Thank God. But seriously, no, and that's really what a lot of people, we get caught up on. We thinking about the now and trying to look good for the now and flexing for the now, and it's like, those that just buckle down, put that tunnel vision on, know, like, okay, I'm about to eat on instant oats. Not saying y'all should eat that unhealthy. Maybe y'all get some stale cut oats.
Yeah, they're actually good.
But
they're cheap too.
Yeah, I know. Just like, you have to sacrifice. You got to pick and choose what you're going to sacrifice for the greater picture. Whether you want to live a healthier life, you can't be eating the rich foods that's not good for your cholesterol. You spiking your diabetes up. You got to think about it now. Like, okay, I'm doing this now, but when I'm 40 years old, you know how they say, once women reach between ages of 40, she's more susceptible to breast cancer. That's not going to be you, because you thought about the bigger picture, and then you're not going to fit into that box. You're not going to fit into that category. Because I used to hate that. Like, how you just going to tell me I had this disease at this age? It's like, oh, what can I prevent now?
Yeah.
Like, what were they not doing along the line so they could prevent this now? What's the bigger picture for your life, guys?
And,
Yeah, I was good.
Oh, I was going to tell them the story I was telling y'all before we started the podcast. Basically, today I was in story time. Come sit on our bean bags and come to story time.
It's so cozy in here, guys.
But basically, I was at a car shop today, and for some reason, me and the mechanic just started talking like we was old school friends from high school or something like that. Anyways, he was just telling me, like, oh, it's such a beautiful day outside. I wish I was off. And I was like, yeah, it is a beautiful day. He's like, what are you I told him what I did. He's like, wow, I wish I did something like that. He's like, well, my brother, he owns his own business, and he owns 3 properties and things of that nature. And he's like, and I know, and this guy talked to me about how he's making like 6 figures off of YouTube. And I was like, oh, I do YouTube too, like, so there's hope for me. And so basically he was right, and he basically was saying like a while back, he said his brother wanted him to come with him to start a business. And he didn't. He was thinking of the now, like, nah, dog, like, I gotta make money now. And now his brother is owning, like I said, 3 properties, running the business, works 6 hours a week. And he basically said he went to California and he did what he had to do to make this dream possible. So his brother was looking at the bigger picture, and he was looking at the now. And now he's working as a mechanic at Goodyear, you know, for said years. And now he's like, dang, I wish I would have done. I wish I would just delete with my brother, because now he's, you know, living the life.
That's so true. And a lot of people, well, and myself included, we get caught up with trying to live for the now and thinking about the big picture. Is because society presses all these labels and judgments, like what kind of car do you have? Like, there's just the status quo on your now situation. They're not, when they meet you, it's like, hi, what do you do? This. It just goes through a list of questions of the now. It's not
it's like
saying
they're trying to qualify you, like they're trying to
put you in a box.
Right.
Yeah.
They're trying to box you.
Right. So like, how am I gonna view you after you tell me your little 10-second introduction? How would I place you in your category of importance to me? So it's like they can't see like, okay, I'm gonna be balling 5, 6, 17 zillion times more than you a couple of years from now, because of the foundation that I'm laying right now. It has no choice but to manifest, but all they see is the now. And then especially if you're an aspiring whatever it is that you're planning on doing, you really don't have anything to show for it right now. But those that take the safe way out, it's like, oh, okay, you're doing good for yourself. But sometimes, some cases, I'm not saying all cases, but some cases, a lot of people are sacrificing their time, their happiness, and it's just like, they look good for you right now, but then them in their bigger picture, will you be still happy doing that same thing 30 years down the line, 40 years down the line? And then when these companies not loyal anymore, and they just chop you out like they never even knew you existed, 50 years down the line, it's like, where's the bigger picture in that? So even if you do have jobs, make sure you make secondary investments and, you know, making safe leisures out of that. But yeah.
But the thing about that, I don't want to go off topic. I want to get to Hakuna Matata. But like, I was just like, people aren't gonna know. Like, regardless, you have to get used to, like, if you are a business owner or something like that, or you have like, you want to be a singer, something that's out of the normal. People, it doesn't matter. People are not gonna see your vision. Like, they're not gonna see it. They are not. So you can't expect, they're gonna say comments. Your mom, your dad, the people close to you, they're gonna say comments like that kind of rub you the wrong way, but you have to realize, like, those comments are gonna be there, but you have to realize you have to keep your eye on the bigger picture. Like, they're gonna see. So it's just like, and they're not doing that to hurt you. They're just doing that because that's what they know. So
it's all they know.
That's all they know. So they might say something like, you've been working from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. and then they're like, oh, you have, since you don't have a job, like, it's like,
oh, where the money yet?
They're not gonna understand it until you finally blow up. So it's like, you have to, like, you're gonna have to take your pride aside when it comes to those things, because it's okay that they don't understand, and that's why I want to get to the movie, but
now, but real quick, 2 points to people that's dealing with loved ones and close family members that don't understand your dream, your grind, your current situation right now. Only if you are aspiring for a job. Now, if you're just a couch potato and talking about, I got a dream but ain't worked on it since last 10 years ago, then they might be talking, what they might be saying, you might qualify. Because there are some people that's not actually going and putting the actions and work toward their dream, and they're saying they have this dream, so like, that's really just a dream. But then there are some of those that's actually waking up, putting in the work, making moves, and they're still not seeing those instant gratification for it. But, okay, never to say. But 2 things, if you are the second person that I was talking about, you actually going after your dreams and your parents still think you wasted your time. You have to have thick skin skin. You have to build up thick skin. So, because when they do say something, and especially because they're the closest to you, and then they love you so much, and you love them back so much, you want them to support you. And so, since they're not supporting you, it can really be heartbreaking to you.
Because you just want to do things to make them like
proud.
Exactly.
Exactly. You want to make them proud, and since you're not making them proud, that can be very hurtful. So you have to have thick skin. And then the next one I like to say is, Tiffany told me, well, brother told you this, and you told me this, but you have to protect your dream. And when I say protect your dream, you probably can't tell them every intricate detail what you're going to do, the next step, next business meeting, next this, because then they might be like, you going to another one of them meetings, you need to just get a job and quit wasting your time with all that. So you just might need to tell them what they want to hear until stuff blow up, and then you say, this is what I've done. Don't go talk about what I'm about to do. You tell them what you have done. So, yeah.
That's so true. Protect your dream.
Protect those dreams from your loved ones, from people out in this world that is just envious of you for no reason. Protect those dreams.
Yeah, it's nothing against them. It's just they don't understand.
Right.
They don't understand. And I want to say this. I think it's admirable when people do want to work like the 9-to-5 job and stuff like that. Because there are people, I know people who like doing that. My mom, some friends, and then there's people who really want to be like a hardcore entrepreneur. But you're right. It is something. There's a difference between you working all day on your dream than just saying it and being on the couch. So you need to figure that out, because you're not gonna get to your dream if you're doing that. But Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. We said all this to say Hakuna Matata
means no worries
for the rest of your days.
It's a problem-free
philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
Okay.
I love that.
So we all about to say something about Hakuna Matata?
I mean, it's just plain and simple.
Right. I mean, when they tell you something you don't like, Hakuna Matata that. Like, that's it all. When somebody hating on you, Hakuna Matata. You don't need to entertain them. When negative people are trying to drag you down, Hakuna Matata on their ass.
Right.
And I think we were just telling Tiffany, too. She was having some car troubles, and we were like, Tiffany, don't worry about it. Like, everything's going to be fine.
Everything's going to work out for the best.
It's going to work out.
Right.
Things happen. It's a part of life. And then this Mercury retrograde trying to,
right?
It's over in one day.
Oh, that's true though, because like you have a bad day like I was having today, and then you do have to say no worries, because it's like right now it might seem like, dang, like I'm about to come out of pocket like that. Like I don't know how much I'm gonna come out of pocket, but then you realize like, wait, a month from now it's like, who cares? A week from now it's gonna be like, oh, it's gone, something's coming back. Or it's just like, even like people like who are now like dead broke, struggling, or something's happened. It's just like, cool, it happens, but if you're alive, life is still moving forward. So it's just like, okay, you might lose this much amount of money, but you have the opportunity to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. That's
and even more. So it's just like,
even more.
Right. So it's just like, you have to think about it like that more than, dang, because I know it hurts, like, but it's just like, but when you start, you have to think about it like, okay, cool, charge it to the game, how we gonna, let's go.
Right.
So, Hakuna Matata.
I'm so glad that you said that, because a lot of people, we ponder on the money that we lost, but nothing's ever really a loss, because anything that you put out can be gained back and plus more. If you pondering on just that little, large, medium amount that you lost, then how are you ever going to attract more back into your pocket fold, your bank account? So you don't want to have a poverty consciousness, because wealthy people are spending money all day and knowing like it's going to come back to them in some form or some fashion. So don't ponder on the money that you quote unquote lost, because there's no such thing as lost. Because if you didn't spend the money on that thing, what else would you have spent it on, guys? You would probably spent it on some food. See, it's only a loss to us when we spending the money on things
it's like,
that we don't want to spend it on. Because say if we spent $500 on a plane trip to around the world, swimming in Costa Rica on the beach somewhere, we'll be mighty happy about our purchase.
Absolutely.
But when we lose $100 tomorrow, it's like, dang, we just be so sore and butthurt over it. It's just like, but come on, y'all, a week, 2 weeks worth of food is $100. So it's like we just gotta change our mindsets. And I know it's easier said than done, but with practice, everything is attainable.
Hey, they both sound right. Accomplishable and accomplishable. But you're right about that. That's the word I needed today.
But yeah.
So what's the next movie? I feel like y'all don't even know how many gems was in that Lion King though.
Right, Lion King out here changing, and that just goes to show a little tidbit I want to throw into Lion King is life can just be unfair at times.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. I mean, it was very unfortunate that he was like 2 years old, probably younger than 2, when he lost his father, and he had to run away from the only home he ever known. His mother was still there, so that was just a really unfortunate situation for him. And so I know a lot of you may be thinking about and reevaluating situations that's happened in your life. Maybe you don't have 2 parents. Maybe you didn't grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth. Maybe you had to live not in the best neighborhoods. Like whatever your unfairness situation or cards that you've been dealt in your life, we just gotta take it, chalk it up, man up, woman up to it, and be like, okay, this is reality, but how am I gonna go around and create a better and still come out on top?
Right.
But yeah, okay. Lion King, y'all might need to watch that again.
Right. Like,
Netflix.
Stay away from them.
All right. So, what's the next movie y'all want to talk about?
I'm gonna go to The Pursuit of Happiness. I really just want to say this quote. We kind of mentioned in The Lion King, because Lion King has all the gems. But it was the scene where I guess Will Smith was telling his son like he couldn't do something, but then he like caught himself, and then he says this quote: "You got a dream, you gotta protect it. People can't do something themselves; they want to tell you you can't do it. If you want something, go get it. Period." And it's just like, if you want something, just go. It's like it seems so simple, but it's not.
Right.
It's like a lot of us have these dreams and we want to go get it. We really do want to put like our all into it, but it's just like you were saying, like living in the now, like, oh, well, I got to do this first. Oh, I got to make sure. And I understand that, but it's just like you have to do everything you can to go get it, to reach those dreams, because you have to like do what it takes so you can be successful in the things that you love. Because I'm not saying it's easy to get a job, it's definitely not. But it's like it might be easier than starting your own business or having the guts to. It might be easier to start a business, but like having the guts and to step out on faith on yourself, that's like something different. So it's like if you don't let no one tell you nothing, because that's just something they feel like they can't do. Like you said, they're putting their doubts of themselves upon you. That's why you have to have like friends that like keep you sane and speak life into you.
And that's true. I love that, because I was reading this one book and it correlates with that amazingly. It's like when you want to do something, when we say we're going to do it, it doesn't mean that it's overnight. It doesn't mean it's going to happen next week. And a lot of us, we like to think that, hey, I'm about to start this popping business. I'm about to be making money, about to be having to buy. I got all the product, got everything I need aligned, but next year I'm going to be a millionaire. It sounds great. It may even happen for some of us. But just because that happened to this person, not necessarily saying that it's meant to happen for you. Because in the book I was reading, it was saying a lot of young people, and it was referencing athletes, superstars, movie stars, singers, artists, stuff like that, how they become overnight success, and sometimes they'll become addicted to drugs, or they'll become gamblers, and they'll gamble all their money away, or they'll drink their money away, or they just won't necessarily have the wisdom to know how to invest it properly, and then they'll or not get enough endorsements, or and their money will fade away, or they'll just spend on their day-to-day upkeeps, and their money will just drain away. So it's saying like sometimes your dreams and this overnight abundance don't happen instantly, because down your path you need to gain the wisdom. You need to make a couple of mistakes and be like, okay, I know I need to not take that route, because if I did that when I had a lot of money, I'd probably be broke by now. And so I maybe need to do this, or understand I need to build a relationship or connect with this person, so when I do have the money to invest, I can do greater things and get the best equipment for little to nothing for my whatever you want to do. So it's just like appreciate the path, where you at on your path to your goal, and not think that it's going to happen overnight. Because a lot of us, we get frustrated when we're not seeing the results we want right now. But we have to stay consistent. You have to stay persistent and trust that you're just gaining all the wisdom that you need. So when that time and that big break happens, you'll be able to suffice and you'll be able to stay afloat, and then you won't be able to get it, and then it'll be gone by a year later or 2 years later down the line. You want everlasting abundance. You don't want it just to say, I done it, and then I'm back down to where I was, or even lower.
Right. And I told to add on that to like getting to your goals and stuff, like being sufficient, being consistent, and things of that nature. But like you have to invest your own money into it too. So I think that's like that's something that I need to do more of. It's like in that when I look back, and even like in experiences and stuff, like because I'm living in the now too much. Like it's good to live in the now, but it's not good to worry in the now. Really, it's like there's a lot of things. Like you went on that trip with Kyle to the cruise, and you could have been like, well, you know what, my money's not real tight, right? Like it's real tight right now. I can't do this. Like maybe let me save for another couple of months. But no, instead you did it, and you're thankful for it. And so it's just like there's a lot of experiences and a lot of things we don't do, even though we want that life, and we don't really actually invest. Like you might be consistent, you might be persistent, but you also have to invest in things into yourself. So it's just like, and then you don't want to be looking back when you realize like when you do have that accident, that thing, you're like, you do have to spend that $500 real quick. You're like, dang, you know what? I had this $500 all along. I could have used this for this, that, and that, and the other, that trip, that thing. So it's just like, I just, that's what I'm feeling today. But it's like, so just do it now. You need those things, get it. Because you're going to be down the line, you're going to have to shed that money somewhere. So invest in yourself now, and that's going to help you out in the long run. So be persistent, consistent, and invest in yourself. Because like when you're investing in yourself, you're believing in yourself as well.
Right.
The procrastination is crazy. It's like, dude, you don't have to do that. Just do it.
Just do the dang thing. Just do the dang thing. Self, I'm looking at this my mirror. Do the dang thing.
Like, this is not only for y'all, this is for me needing this here.
I know.
Right. Get myself a day. But back to the pursuit of happiness.
Right.
Yeah, but actually that's all I got from that. Because it's been a while since I watched it. But
I know, I was trying to think of some gems in there. I like how he sacrificed, and he was willing to go whatever measures he needed to like help his loved one, which was his son at the time. He was like all about that sacrifice life. He was sacrificing. Oh, remember when they had no place to stay, the shelter, the restroom. Like sometimes you might have to sleep in your car. Sometimes you may have to get that low to a point where it just looked like the light is off in that tunnel. It ain't no light at the end. It looks that way, and it may seem that way, but just keep the faith and know, like, there's always light
coming, and that greater is coming.
Ooh, that brings me to a gem that was in another movie.
But I did want to say this. I want to say two things though. Like you said, it looks like there's no light. Like that, he was doing what he had to do. At the end of the day, you just have to like. But the cool thing about being down and out, like you have to do what you have to do to get up. You know, some people just stay there, but like you can't. You have to. You're either gonna stay there or you have to get out. And like he did what he had to do. Another point I wanted to make is what I was just thinking today when I was like bawling my eyes out, and I was just calling people like my mom. I called my dad yesterday. I called Deborah, and I called someone else. And then it's just like you need people to help you out. Like you need people, and like you could be that person for someone else, like to uplift you and to speak life into you. So that's really why you have to have great energy and attract other people to your life. Because I was thinking to myself, like, because sometimes you just need someone to talk to and to like explain things to lift you up. And I really feel like I always say this. I really feel like that's why we're on the earth, because to be helpful to one another. Like we all need each other. Like that's why we're all like barely separated. That's why we all really know each other. So it's just like I don't know. We need people and like be that person for someone else. Like you can't do it alone, to be honest. So yeah.
No, you are going into the whole. You already ahead of the game. You must like that movie, Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is the next movie, guys. And Tiffany just pretty much listed all the dang gems that I had on Finding Nemo. But I'm going to share them with y'all anyway because this movie was my favorite movie at one point in time. So Finding Nemo. The first gem that I think comes from Finding Nemo, although we were saying all this stuff about like, you know, your loved ones can be the person that and we were saying in some cases, this is not all cases. This is not everybody's situation. Exactly. So sometimes your loved ones, well, okay, rewind. Finding Nemo. So the gem that I got from Finding Nemo is listening to your loved ones, or sometimes your parents, or sometimes those people that are closest to you, because sometimes they just want the best for you. And it's up to you to decipher what they're saying to you and use it in all the ways you know that it will grow you. And I said that because y'all know when Nemo didn't listen to his daddy, when he listened to Marlin, his ass ended up on the other side of the ocean. I'm just saying, he was all stuck in a fish tank. So, I'm just saying, like, that could be us though in our life.
He was a rebel too. He went out there, he was swimming out there.
Exactly. Like, he wanted to go touch the butt, aka the boat. They was like, you touched the butt. Y'all don't remember that?
Yes, I remember.
You remember that? Okay. Remember when he was like,
Y'all childish.
it was the anemone. The anemone. That's what she was. Okay, she couldn't even watch the show. Y'all remember how that little fish was saying?
Y'all know we have not been in school for like years.
These are Disney classics though.
Like, y'all rewatching them?
Yeah.
You don't got little kids, you got a nephew.
Got kids. Oh, I don't have kids.
We be watching the new stuff.
Oh, y'all being you gotta show them the
You're
classics.
right about that. You're right about that. I let him pick the movie. Okay, anyway.
True. But no, seriously. And I was saying that to say, listen to your loved ones because they just want you to be safe. When it's all said and done, they just want what's best for your safety because the news is crazy and they be feeding them a lot of crazy things that could happen to you. And every story that come on in the news that's like this crazy story, your parents immediately come to you and be like, you better start locking your doors at this time because this little girl on the news it's just like, that ain't me though. So, but they just really want what's best for you, like what's in your best interest. So, listen.
You think you're untouchable,
right. Like picking up homeless people, like just anything. Like don't do things like this. Tiffany laughing like she might have done something like that.
Recently in the last month.
Last week. But yeah, so don't just live like you have a bulletproof bodysuit on and like you were just unharmed, like you were just untouchable. Like you want to use your common sense. And parents, they have wisdom. They have been on the earth. And I know growing up, I was kind of stubborn. And I thought, like, especially when you in your middle school, high school, you start thinking you just know it all. Like, we got life all figured out. And not necessarily saying, like, we think we grown. It's just like, I'm just ready to conquer the world. So you may just have that sense of urgency on life and how to take it. Just be really innocent and naive and not think that anything can harm you. Like, oh, bad people don't want to touch me or harm me. But there are such harms in the world. But luckily, y'all not going to be attracting those types of things in your life. But yeah. But just listen to them and be mindful on some of the things that they're telling you because it could just be because they want you to be safe. And
it make me think about a party that we went to in high school.
That y'all went to. I didn't go to that one. My aunt didn't let me go.
Which one?
The one downtown that got shot up.
Oh my
like
God.
My parents told us, they were like,
They
it's
did.
in a bad area, you know, but you know what, y'all are getting older, you're gonna let y'all make the decision.
Wow.
And we went to this party, and unfortunately it was a bad situation, you know, someone got shot, but had we listened to them, we wouldn't have been in that situation.
I know, being
We
fast.
were running out that thing.
I heard about it. I wasn't there. And this is crazy because I'll go to every single party with them. Like, these are my girls. Like, we used to, I mean, we wasn't really big partiers. I mean, we
were though in high school.
Actually, in high school, we did party a lot. But it wasn't like no ratchet. Well,
No, we weren't doing nothing crazy.
Yeah, we wasn't
but
doing
we were
nothing crazy,
dancing.
but we just like to be out and have fun with each other. But now thinking about it, we would be considered ratchet if we
We
was.
was out in them streets.
What's wrong with us?
But I remember we had a curfew. I was like, no, I gotta be just a few more minutes.
Yeah, you're right on
Pushing
that.
that curfew.
I had a curfew too. Molly.
And the guys literally walked like right past us. Like we were walking out, the guys were walking in, and we just heard a bunch of screaming, a bunch of commotion.
Yeah, we got out early.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Thank God.
So we
for
heard the
that.
shots and we started running.
Exactly. We were running to the car, but
Right.
Yeah, they do want the best for you.
So so
They
that's
did.
We used to think I was tripping, but she was telling the truth. Like, why you don't let us go running at night? Like,
oh my God. So
this is
yes,
a safe neighborhood.
I used to like to do
now
that.
I be seeing people like, why they got them kids? Like, why she alone?
Right, and I was just stubborn and like, okay, so I used to like to take midnight jogs, y'all, literally midnight jogs. I would be 12 a.m. at night, just running in my
Yes,
neighborhood,
nothing wrong with that.
or really running around my street. But me and Tiffany wanted to go run around neighborhood, and my aunt would not.
dedication, y'all.
We was dedicated to being fine.
Sides up and down the street.
We was just doing the most, and our parents was just like,
I don't know. My
no.
mama was really tripping.
Oh yeah, well, my aunt was just like, no, you cannot do that. Why would you? I'm like, she's like, you are a girl. You can get taken. I'm
She
just,
did say all
don't
that.
see, we
I was
don't-
really thinking
we
like,
don't think, and you know what my mom was like, you just don't understand because you don't have any kids of your own. But one day you will. Like when you have your own kids, you will understand.
what is wrong with us? So you don't want the equivalent of being taken across the ocean and to see Sherman P-33 a Wallaby Way. So don't just listen to your parents on nothing
really
like.
good memory.
So nothing like that happens. So that was the first point from Nemo.
That's yeah.
Next one is accept help, and I think you were just talking about this. And it's like, as you know, as macho as and stubborn as Marlon was, Nemo's dad, he was just like, he had to rely on a stranger, which was Dory, to help him find P-32, Sherman 40, Wallaby Way, whatever that place name was. Y'all know the place, P-Sherman 72, 45, Wallaby Way, whatever. Because his memory, he didn't even know how to read as a fish. And so sometimes we were
As a fish.
and on a movie because fish can't read in real life. But anyway, sometimes you will there will be complete strangers on your pathway, and they will hold the keys to this valuable information, which will help you get to the next step along your journey. And like Tiffany was saying, we all are put on this earth because we need one another. There's somebody out there that have an asset that you don't have, and you have something that someone else doesn't have, and we could just build our way to the top if we work together.
Right.
But so don't be stubborn. Work together. Use people in the best way. Utilize people in the best way. Y'all want to add anything?
I like that.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Don't be afraid to ask the directions to P-32.
That's very true.
But the next one is step outside of your comfort zone. And Nemo, when because you know how Marlon was like the overprotective dad. He was like really safe. He was like not about all. He was a clownfish that wasn't funny. He was just Mr. Safe. And so when his son got abducted and taken all the way across the ocean, he had to step out his comfort zone. He had to leave and go into different places that he wrote on the EAC. What's that? The EAC with the turtles. He was chilling with sharks. He was doing all kind of things that he would have never done. And like in your life, what are some things that you like, I never go to that type of neighborhood, or I never do this, and this. I would never see myself in corporate America with a tie on. It's like sometimes you have to stretch outside of your limits and do things that are uncomfortable to you so that you can get to the next step of your life. And it can turn out to be a very fun and enlightening experience, just like it was for Marlon, because it helped him become a better father. He was more understanding. He wasn't like, he was still trying to be super safe when Nemo came back, but he was like, I got to give my son a little more freedom so he don't try to be rebellious. So parents, that's a gem for you. Children, gem for you too.
I just want to talk about comfort zone a little bit more too. And sometimes it's just like you think you're going, you kind of think, okay, so oh, since I'm doing this, that, or the other, this is outside of the normal. But it might not be outside of the normal for you to start a business, to start a YouTube channel, to start a fitness boot camp. Like, that might not really be out of the normal for you. So it's like, it seems like you're stepping out of your comfort zone, but you need to ask yourself, am I really stepping out of my comfort zone?
Right.
That might just be your comfort zone. You need to take it a little further, step out a little more, and, you know, have more faith, and you'll realize, like, I've actually been playing it safe. Like, this sound like it, you know, I'm doing this, doing that. But are you really stepping out of your comfort zone?
Right.
And I really feel like when you do that is when you are going to grow. Like, it's scary when you step out of your comfort zone. That's why people don't do it.
Exactly.
So be scared and just take a leap. Like, you know, when you send that risky test.
Oh, yeah.
And you start running. Right.
Typing it over again.
But sometimes the results. Right.
Reread it, reword it.
Right. But the results are usually pretty good. So, you know, send that risky test.
Right, that powerful email that you need to send to
to
somebody that could change your life and be an investor in your company or a sponsor or anything. You never know.
Personal day. Do your thing.
Right. Travel the world. Buy that DJ machine. Just
go
do
after
it.
that dream that you putting on the back burner.
You twerk in the middle of the aisle. I don't know. It's just stuff you gotta do. Like,
But
I don't know where that came from.
But yeah, do what you gotta do when you popping, or so you can become popping. And another gem that I wanted to share from Finding Nemo is Tiffany just kind of hit on it because she just might reading all my notes telepathically or something. I don't know. But it's when Dory was in the ocean and she just kept saying, or singing rather, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. So what she meant, well, my interpretation of what she
I
meant,
have an interpretation too.
when she was saying just keep swimming it was the faith. So like, although you're swimming through this ocean, you don't know what you're about to get into, you don't know the next venture, it could be some harmful things out there, but you're still singing, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And when she was singing just keep swimming, she wasn't singing it like, just keep swimming. She was singing it with like spunk. She was happy about it. She was like, you know, I don't know what I'm about to conquer out there, but I know it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be popping. It's gonna work out for my best interest.
She had super positive.
She was super fearless because it was
Yeah.
dark and scary. It was going deeper and deeper. She was like, look, I'm doing it. Yes, doing it. Like,
Right. And that's what faith is, though. It's like sometimes you gotta step outside of that comfort zone. And when you step outside the comfort zone, in order for you to attract great things, you want to have this positive mental attitude towards whatever the thing that's in the dark. You don't want to step outside your comfort zone and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail. I knew I should never did this. This was stupid. Why did I ever think that? Yeah, why did I ever think that I could do something like this? No, you want to have that just keep swimming mental attitude, like positive. I'm popping, you know, just whatever it is, like whatever it is out there, I have never seen it. That may be true, but I'm gonna conquer it, whatever it may be. Hands down. And so
I like how you said the faith thing when you said just keep swimming, and I like the positive thing you said because I was talking to my mom today, and I was worried about something, and then she was like, "Okay, pray first, and ask God for favor, and then handle the situation." But she said, "But don't handle it in fear, handle it in faith, because faith moves mountains." And I was like,
y'all mama the realist.
she really is though. And I was like, okay, because I have to be in that mindset. Like, if you're going into that fear, that energy is going to transfer back. So you have to go back in with faith, like Dory. And just, you know, that's probably why they got to Nemo.
Right, Dory on faithful
she
soul.
put all that positive energy out there, but like faith moves mountains. So it's like, you can't go in. You might be scared, but you can't. You have to have that faith for sure in everything you do.
It's true.
Right?
Right. That's good. And
Oh, but when you say just keep swimming, like I that stays in my mind like through everything. Like if something gets rough, I always say like just keep grinding though. Like just keep
I like
grinding.
that.
Just keep grinding. Like that really goes through my head.
That's what's up. See, it works. She a
Yeah.
prime example. So y'all just keep grinding. Just keep swimming towards your goal. Just keep pushing, keep going, keep persevering, stay consistent. That's all keeps women going. It doesn't mean turn back and let me go back home to my safe place. It doesn't mean turn back and let me go back to the same situation because I'm most comfortable in it. It means just lock in, hold on to whatever it is that you want to do and keep going in that direction of it. Because eventually,
that way,
it's gonna go that way. It's gonna manifest. It's gonna come into fruition, y'all. It has no choice. It has no choice. But that's all the gems I have for Finding Nemo.
That was good. Finding Nemo lit.
Right. We need to go watch these movies. Finding Nemo, Lion King. I think that's actually all my movies.
I wanted to talk about the movie Click with Adam Sandler, where he had the chance to like rewind, pause, fast forward through his life and stuff like that. And that was a good one because we do that in real life. like we wish, like I know myself, like dang, I was just thinking to myself today, like
go back to just that one moment.
Right, can I go back to this? Or dang, can I just already have a husband and kids and a good payment, some payments coming in? Or can I just get to that real quick?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just like throughout the movie, he was doing that a lot. Like he was just fast forwarding through like a whole bunch of stuff, like work, dinner. I don't really want to talk. And it's like he ended up fast forwarding through his entire life, and then it's like he realized like, oh, do I even have any more life to live?
Do they have a rewind button?
They did, but I forgot what happened.
He couldn't press it too many times.
Right.
Like if he did something.
I remember seeing this movie.
Right, but I feel like we really do that. We look into the future so much, or we look back so much that we don't enjoy the moment in time, which sucks. So it's just like, things are gonna happen, but you have to enjoy the journey. You really do, because if not, if you're always looking forward or you're always looking backwards, your life is basically gonna pass you by, and it's just gonna be a whole bunch of anxiousness inside of your life when you could have just been enjoying it. And I know a lot of times, like I was talking to my mom about this actually, it's like we look back, like in college, I was working, I was in extracurricular activities and studying, taking like 18, 21 hours, and just doing the most. And like, I didn't even have to. I didn't even have to do the most. And so it's just like you look back and you realize that you were stressing yourself out for no reason. And when you could have just be relaxing. And like, I know like, we could be stressing ourselves out like right now. Some people are stressing themselves out now when you in like a year or even a month from now or 2 years down the line, you gotta look back like, dang, I should have just been having the time of my life. Like I'm like, so I think a lot of us do that and we're like, dang, I could have been having more fun. I could have been relaxing because in the end, it all works out. In the end of the book, we all win. So
that's so true. I'm so happy that you said that. That's really, really true. And that made me think about this one lady. I was having a conversation where she was taking her daughter shopping, and she's like, one of her daughters wasn't with her. They were like, one was married and one was like in her last year of college. And she was just like, it used to be so much fun taking my daughter shopping. And I remember I used to always complain about like, oh, let me come shopping when I don't have the girls, because it would be kind of a hassle to deal with them in the store. And she was like, but what I would give to go back to those moments. And she's like, now that they're all grown up, married with their families, it's like they're not in my house anymore. They don't have their rooms there anymore. They're moving on with their lives, and then soon they'll have children. And actually, one she has grandchildren. She was like, I just miss those days. I would give anything back. She was like, you never know, so cherish every single moment. She was like, do you have children? I was like, not yet. She's like, well, don't try to rush them to grow up.
Yeah.
I was like, I won't.
Don't rush your future children, bro. But no, that's true. Even like when I was just telling Kobe, like, dang, I'm ready to move out the house. Like, it's about that time. But now that you said that, it's right. But it's like, but I do enjoy being around my mom, and I do enjoy being around my stepdad and having that family. Like, I enjoy their company. Like, what I be doing alone and stuff. But
what are we in a rush for?
Right,
why are we rushing?
And I want to enjoy my mom while she's here and everybody. And so it's just like, I know a lot of us were just always rushing, like, okay, I want it my own, da 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 da. But like, when we really have all these blessings around us, and we really need to cherish those people. I just think people are like what keeps why we're here, basically, keeping us alive. Like, my mom asked me the other day, she's like, would you trade being yourself to be like super famous, like Whitney Houston or Michael Jackson? Those were really bad examples. I was like, of course not, I don't want to be like that. And I was like, but exactly. And I was like, I immediately said, absolutely not. Not because of me. I was like, absolutely not. They don't have the same mom as me. They don't have the same brother as me. They don't have the same friends as me. So I realized that my happiness comes from the people that are in my life. Yeah, it's not things. So it's like,
it's the relationships.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, I don't want, I mean, $10 million would be nice, but having y'all, having my mom, having my brother, my nephew, like, forget that. I want that.
Peace of mind.
Right. So.
That's good.
You really do gotta share this with people. Even though we be trying to count down, like, damn. That is good. Right. I'm on my place. But you'll get there. You'll spend most of your life, like, not being with your parents. So, well, for the most part, I'm not, like, not that they'll die or anything, but, like, living outside the house.
Yes, thank you for that.
Secret of.
Girl.
Rushing anymore.
I know, we were just talking about it. I was the one who brought it up.
I was thinking it all the time.
Me too.
We have a movie suggestion, but I don't know this movie. It says I would like to suggest The Secret of, is it Nine? N-I-M-H.
The Secret of Nine? I haven't seen that movie.
It says to watch. You will feel inspired. Well, thank you. I'm going to watch that for sure.
But we watched The Secret, the actual Secret.
I know, I love that
movie. That was, we could go on for days about that.
Right. Of course. There's so many. That movie is a gem in itself. We're just gonna have to start break down chapter 1 through 12.
Right. The Secret is basically what we always talk about is putting out that positivity, visualization, like really focusing on what you want so it can come into your life. It's the law of attraction, essentially. What you put out is what you get back. So what vibes are you putting out? That's like something we have to keep in mind.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
What's next?
Did y'all
Anybody
have
have
some
anything
more?
else you wanted to share? I think we're gonna wrap it up.
We have just 5 quick lessons from Karate Kid.
Ooh.
Karate Kid. I know y'all seen this movie. This is a
But which
classic.
one though?
Right?
Oh, that was
The
the original.
original. But I mean, they all kind of have the same story behind it.
Dang, I love
This
that
is like the
movie.
underdog.
Is this the one with Jackie Chan though?
Movie.
No, Professor Hoagie. I mean,
Oh.
what's his name?
Wait, what's Jackie
Miyagi.
Chan?
Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi.
Well, Jackie Chan, you can
But
hit that
she's
one?
talking about the character who played. Yeah, I don't.
Ooh, I'm sorry, but I do remember Mr. Miyagi. He was tight.
He was super tight.
He was dope.
Was Jackie Chan in the one with Willow? I mean, with Jaden?
Was he?
I think
I
so.
feel, yeah.
Oh,
she
okay,
was
okay.
in that one. You're right.
I used to want to be like that. Okay, but I want to know the gems.
But something happened. Wait, I forget what part of the movie it was. But Mr. Miyagi was asking Daniel if he was ready to learn karate, and he was just kind of like, I guess so. And he sat him down and was like, "You walk on the right side of the road, you're safe. You walk on the left side, you're safe. You walk in the middle." Like a cricket.
Like
So he said either you karate do yes, karate do no, but karate I guess so, you're switch.
Ooh.
So
She just good.
That's a gem.
it is. So the message that I got from that is if you're gonna do something, you have to do it like 100% wholehearted.
Use your whole ass.
Yes. Like it ain't no just, I guess I do this.
I
You're
guess
gonna
I'm gonna be
make
a
that-
basketball player tomorrow. I guess.
Like you have to make that decision. It's either yes or no. No, I guess so. No maybes. No.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right.
And it also made me think of a quote from Yoda, and he says, "Do or do not. There is no try."
Oh yeah, we posted it on our Instagram.
Yes, we did.
Pop us on Instagram, Spy Baby. There is no try. Ooh, I love that.
I love
So
it.
no matter what journey you're on, like we can use health for an example because we are healthy living.
Yes.
If you're deciding, like, it's not just, oh, I'm gonna lose weight to get ready for the summer, or ooh, my birthday coming up, I'm gonna lose weight. No, this is a lifestyle. Like, this is a like, you have to make that commitment to be healthy and to do what you need to do. Like, it really is tough.
That's good. That's great.
I like that. You are gonna get squished in that maybe. Yeah. You're right. You gotta be definite. You have to be clear on your goals.
Very intentional and definite with your intentions.
That's a good one.
That's beautiful.
I'm gonna write that on like
That's beautiful.
Right?
Screensaver.
Yeah. Squish.
The next one is, I mean, we kind of talk about this all the time, life is phase, and we kind of talked about this in some of the other movies, but he said first, he wanted to learn how to do this crane kick, and Mr. Miyagi said first learn to stand, then fly. So it's a process. Everything is a process. You have to learn how to, like Jazz says all the time, you have to crawl, then walk, then run. So it's gonna be a process. Life, you have to take it step by step.
Build up that wisdom.
You don't come out the womb doing hurdles. You do definitely have to crawl first.
Right.
Yes, and a lot of times we see people doing stuff and we're like, oh, I want to do that, and then we didn't
didn't see
even
what they
think
did.
about the process.
Yeah.
Like yoga, I see all these yogis doing
Putting themselves in a press
complicated,
and you like,
and I'm like, well, I want to do that.
Me too.
And I try to do it, and I'm like, okay.
you get the cover of these yoga books and she looking like, okay, so if I buy this book, I'm gonna do that on one day? No.
And it really does, but you know when people be showing like their progression, it's like it don't be like this week, next week. We're like back then it'd be like 2015, 2017, 2013, and now
Next time you got hair growth too, like you see them pictures of
Make
like
me mad.
2010 and then
Yeah, you're right.
2013. That is so true. Unless you take your hair thinity.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I was like,
No, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's
It's
so
a
true.
journey, it's a process. Like your hair is not gonna be, waist length, just like that. It's gonna take time.
And the
You're gonna have to
thing
go
is,
through your
though-
TWA, your little afro. You're gonna have to go through that awkward phase where you're like, I don't know what to do with it.
right.
That's so
But the
true.
thing about that, I'm so glad you said that. For all of these transformations, though, if you're not if you're not taking the correct steps, if you're not being consistent, if you're not consistently having like a hair regimen, or you're not consistently doing yoga, you will be in the same place you were in 2015 as you are in 2017 because you're not growing, you're not routine, you're not being consistent. Now I was thinking about my own life. I was like, dang, in the same damn for
No,
3
you're not.
years.
You're not. But that's a great message.
But yeah, so it's like you do have to walk, you do have to grow, but like the baby, it doesn't stop trying when it falls down. You have to keep going. You have to be consistent. You have to keep learning and cultivating, and that's how you get that back bend and looking all cool and stuff. That's how you get Rapunzel hair.
Right. That's so
So.
true. And my grandfather, he does yoga, and he was telling me before I started doing yoga, like this was way in I want to say 2009 or 11. I know that was 2 years difference, but I know it was either before I graduated high school or right after I graduated. I can't really remember. But he was saying when you do yoga, he's like, I know all these instructors, they like doing all this strenuous stretches. He's like, but don't do that because you're gonna hurt yourself. He's like, only go as far as you can, and you do that for he's like, you might even need to do that for 4 months, and then he's like, after that 4 months, when that's comfortable to you, then you move on to a little bit, stretch a little bit further, and then a little bit further. He's like, and then before you know it, you will be doing the same thing they doing, if not better. And so I just want to say that, use that with everything in your life. It's like, if you want to eat healthier, you may not just be able to just transition to 100% vegan right after eating pork chops, fried pork chops, and 2 pot of neck bones and collard greens and 5 biscuits every day. You might not be able to just transition over to 100% raw vegan. So just do what you can, and God is gonna see and meet you halfway and be like, oh, I see you putting in the grind, you being consistent, and then do that for a couple of months, and then, okay, I got the hang of this, now I'm gonna cut this off, or all right, I've been doing the same hair regimen consistently, oiling my scalp every night. However I said I'm gonna be doing and applying that said growth lotion. Okay, you're doing that, then you'll see results, and then you'll expand. So everything you do, you want to get comfortable with it until it's like, okay, this is too easy. Just like when you're in the weight room. Like, I remember when Kyle was saying, he was like, nah, that's too easy
Just
for me.
about the reference.
Oh, well, go ahead, take it away.
No, man. Because I'm a like Instagram inspiration. If you just look down my feed, it's nothing but workout. And I always think I can do what these girls are doing, and I get out to the weight room and I'm like, okay, and then I crash and burn. And I'm like, okay, I don't even want to do this anymore. Like I'm not them.
Right. So when you in the weight room, if you need to put no weights on the bar at all, start there, and then 2 months later or a month later, depends on how fast you progress, and then add and add and add and add. But don't put more on your plate than you can bear, or nothing will ever get done. You'll get squashed.
Yes. Yes.
And I just wanted to just touch on this is like kind of going sideways, but I don't know if y'all watched Sham Booty's last video, but basically it's like you have to. Sometimes it doesn't look like things are getting better, but they are. Like sometimes you can't see your own growth. Sometimes you can't see your own results, but they are. So let other people see it. So like Sham Booty, she like a couple months ago, she was talking about, she had a video that said like her life isn't a fairy tale. And not my eyes, it was things like, dang, you're like popping, like you have this, that, and your subscribers are crazy. And she was like, my life isn't a fairy tale. I feel like nothing. I feel like everything keeps failing, blah, blah, blah. And she's been consistent and, just shelling out stuff, different ideas and things have been falling through. And she was like, look guys, my life isn't perfect. Like I'm grinding still, Then she released a video like yesterday or something like that. And then she talked about how now she has her breakthrough. Like she's like, I don't know if the universe was listening to me or God, but he was like, oh, so okay, you've been waiting on your breakthrough. She's like, I've been booked for like April. I have been booked. Like this is my schedule. And she's like, and opportunities are just keep coming at me and keep coming at me and keep coming at me. So it might not look like your results are coming in, but your ass is getting bigger. Like you did that badonkadonk. Like you are looking good. Like so it's like keep going and finally it's gonna happen. Like when you least expect it. When you're
slip
down,
on them jeans and they're gonna be able to button up.
Right. One day you should be like
down just to put them on.
Right. One day I saw today, I'm on part of this Facebook group. This girl was like, oh my gosh, guys, look at how many people have ordered from me. It was like 300 orders. And she was like, this is more than I made in the whole year in 2015. This is more than I made in the last 4 months. And she was just like, but I've been grinding. I've been consistent. I've been grinding. So I can't even really say I'm surprised. But she was like, this is crazy. So
That's
it's just
awesome.
like, you got to just keep going. And that breakthrough, you don't know when it's going to happen, but don't stop. If that's something you really want, because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Don't stop. Get it. But you have to be consistent.
Yeah, you do.
That's why y'all need to join our consistency challenge.
Join it.
And I said it was 5, but it's only 3. So the last one is Mr. Miyagi said he learned 2 things from his hometown that he always kind of did, and that was fishing and karate. And I don't know, for some reason, this made me think of a philosophy that I've learned from working with Kind, and it is called the AND philosophy. And it came from, he wanted to create this snack that was tasty and healthy, that was wholesome and convenient. So he didn't want to have to choose one or the other. Because when people think of a snack, they're like, oh, this is healthy, but it's not tasty. Like when they think of good food, you think of something Greek, like a cheeseburger, not a snack.
Or a Snicker bar,
yeah,
not a
Snickers
Kind bar.
bar. Yeah, not a Kind bar. So, going back to the movie, he did fishing and karate. Wasn't one or the other. And I know that sometimes in life we think that it's one thing over the other. Like we have to either be a good mother or my career,
Right.
My spouse or my kids. It's not. It's both.
Right.
You can do and you
That
can
is so true.
have both. Or it's money and my passion, or
It's just a number of things.
whatever
Right.
it may be for you. May be putting or with it, but start thinking with the and.
That's so good. That's what I was talking to our good friend Deborah on the phone about, and I was asking her like, I basically like asked her, who am I? I was like confused. I was so like, because I was like, I do so many things, and what is my thing? Like who am I? And then you're right, you can be everything. Like people say that you can't, but you can. Like your focus, you can be a fisher in the Karate Kid. You can be the and. I like how you said and, not the or. Yeah.
You can have that career and have that business. You can.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
And
so
a lot
true.
of people, like, I always think about this. A lot of women, like, you hear them say, I put my career first, that's why I have a man, or something like that. And I've been thinking to myself, I don't ever want to be that person. But then I was like, why would I ever have to be that person? Like, I'm going to put my career first, and I'm open to love. Like, why can't we do both?
You know, and that just made me think about something, too. Whenever I was getting, like, in my religion and getting closer to God, I always thought, man, this life is going to be boring. Because, like, you can still be a Christian and have fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you know, one or the other.
Right.
But,
That's true. Yeah.
And so I like that.
yes.
That's
What about the or for the and?
Yes.
Swap it out. That was a good one. That was a good segment. Did y'all enjoy it? Share with your friends.
Share. Sharing is caring. We dropped some major gems today. Y'all cannot say this podcast will not help you get to the next level of your life. Because I know it's helping me out.
I know we have some dang revelations. I'm like, like
Who knew these movies was saying all of this stuff?
Right? I didn't even know I even wanted to do this topic. I'm like, movies, I don't know no goddamn movie.
Well, it turned out for our best.
That's just another point. You gotta listen to other people. You ain't always right. But anyway.
But y'all know what time it is. Before we leave you all, it is
Affirmation time.
affirmation. Oh, y'all just not gonna dance,
Oh,
right?
It's affirmation time.
It's affirmation time. Okay. So, we will say this. If this is your first time tuning in with us and you've never heard the word affirmation before, an affirmation is a positive statement that you use to bring you closer to whatever you want to be, do, or have in your life. Most affirmations, well, not most, but there are affirmations that are used with a word I am. And the Earl Nightingale says, whatever you say after the word I am, you become. So, what are you becoming right now in your life? A lot of people, I know this is not all of our listeners and viewers because y'all are speaking positive things in y'all life, but I know you probably heard some of your friends or maybe just some people on the street saying, I'm broke. Or they might have said, I'm tired. Or they may have said, I'm just weak. But that's not you. And if that was you at one point in your life, or maybe it was you yesterday, or maybe you earlier today, we're gonna switch those. We're gonna transmute all that negative energy to positive energy. So if you are feeling weak, in the Bible it says, let the weak say, I'm feeling strong. Boy, it don't say feeling strong. It says, let the weak say, I am strong. So when you're feeling weak, you're not gonna say I'm weak. You tell yourself I'm strong. If you feeling broke, if your bank account is financially challenged right now, you just say, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I'm financially secure.
Yes,
if you are sad for whatever reason, you tell yourself, I'm feeling happier and happier every day. I am amazing. I am awesome. I am confident. I'm whatever you need to be to pick up that down negative energy, that hyena energy, into positive, God-loving energy.
Yes.
So,
yes.
now that you know what affirmations are, we are going to say 3 of them because it's 3 of us, and you get in the habit and rhythm of saying your affirmations every morning when you wake up, look in the mirror before you or after you brush your teeth, before you go to bed at night, when you wrapping your hair up, or whatever you do before you go to sleep at night. You tell yourself whatever you want to be, do, or have in your life. So, who wants to start?
I got it. I have to.
Okay, Tiffany's going to start us off.
I am secure and I am stepping out of my comfort zone.
That is great. I am faithful.
cheat.
No,
I know what you mean.
I have faith that I'm gonna achieve all of my dreams and desires and my goals and live this life of abundance. That's clarity.
I received that. I want to declare that in my life.
Yes.
But I am a conqueror.
Yes.
I am great. I am enough.
Yes.
More than.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in with us. It's been amazing. A wonderful Tuesday, wonderful many days to come in your life of abundance. Just about to just start pouring blessings upon blessings. It's just gonna start falling in your lap. So tune in with us next Tuesday and the Tuesday after that and the many Tuesdays to come. Until that next time.
Join our consistency challenge. Go to inspiredfiredaily.com and scroll down to the second post.
Let us know what you trying to be consistent
with,
so we can keep you accountable.
Right.
Exactly. And like our page.
Like it.
Like
this.
this.
Blood thing over down where you didn't like the page.
Right. Well, thanks, beautiful people, for tuning in. Until next time.
Love you guys.
Love you. Peace and